the book that they were mistakes made
that
you made when you stepped out on your marriage?
Yeah, I mean, it started, I think that for a greater part, and the experience was hard, hitting when early years of marriage. And
so the cheating did not happen during the relationship stage because you were together 7 years before you married.
Yeah,
so it happened after you were married.
Yeah, and this was, and when I say cheating, I think that, for the most part, people think that when it's cheating, then, we conclude that then
sleeping with
sexual affairs. No. I mean, even the good book tells us that even when a woman walks by and you think of them lustfully in your mind, you have sinned, and that's cheating. And so there's emotional, there's mental, and the physical as well.
You said emotional and physical.
Yes, I did say that.
So explain that.
So in my bit to explain that covers a whole spectrum of I had you, for example, and my mind is like I'm thinking lustfully about you. That's cheating. You can't limit it to, because otherwise then we get away with so many things. And then what the good book tells us, how do we justify that? By just thinking lustfully, I've not touched them, they said I've sinned. How have I sinned? But that's what the good book tells us. And so we translate that to even touching you and my mind is impure. I have cheated because I have a partner, and that thought should run through me only with my partner. Then
so you didn't sleep with anybody?
No. I'm not going to say that. I slept with anybody. In my thought processing, that is where the cheating happens, and it's tough for me to even put it into words, because the way it was written in the book is how I wanted to leave it at. Because the moment you try to explain these things, then okay, the media takes it up and then they twist their own headlines and then it becomes something else.
That's why we would put the words against what you're saying, because you say, and I'm reading a portion of the book that is, everywhere. People are sharing that particular screenshot. And you say that you were naive from the start about subtle amorous hints and perhaps made a lot of assumptions about people's motives till it was too late. And you also admit that you got bolder and more daring and adventurous, and sometimes initiated flirtatious conversations and led many on. And you've been in very compromising situations with ladies. And some started as admiration and fun, and after frequent chats developed into flirting and occasionally went too far. So when I am reading these things, if you're leaving it to my imagination to say, how far did Adjetey go with Lady A or Lady B, then that's a murky space. So you have to set some boundaries for
I mean, it's a murky space, but, for me, intentionally, I left it at that, because the moment you expand that, it will lose focus of why this book was set out in the first place. And the notion that our habit not a habit, I think there's a culture of glorifying negativity, and it's high time that we begin to move away from that. I mean, here we are, we complain about the Western world representing Africa in only negativity, but we do worse, because negativity sells. But how does that develop a nation? How does that develop our society? Because when you do that, when people are going through issues that are real, that needs attention, that needs help, they won't seek the help because they cower. Because the moment they come out and say that I'm suffering from this, they say, oh, what about them? That's the attitude. And I think that we're not helping young people who are in the limelight, who we say we're going to hand over, to be able to really search deep and say, look, these are my weaknesses. I need to confront them to become a better person. And so this book actually is in a way speaking to these young people that, look, what you're going through is not new. I have been through that space. These were the structures that I put in place to get out of it. That's the resilience. And I fought it. These are the things that you can do as well to get out of it. Because if we don't do that, then we were going to have people replicating what we've done.